Melania, did you write this? Huh? We told you look at Michelle Obama's paper. Why you ain't look at Michelle's paper? To carve out time for themselves and champion a new American model that restores the honor of motherhood by encouraging all women to lead boldly at work while also making family the cornerstone of our national future. Melania. Did you really say lead boldly at work? What work? What work? Come on. You gonna have to get on that Erika Kirk, go sit down. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
Your hat says Trump was wrong about everything. It should say you are wrong about everything.
That's adorable.
All right. The board is clear. The board is clear.
Burned. Pam Bondi wrote that for you? You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now I need to know, who got George Santos trending? Huh? Which one of y'all? Which one of y'all got George Santos trending? Huh? Because every time I look up George Santos, I see this same lady. This same lady. Every time I look up George Santos, and I need to know who's responsible. Which one of y'all did that? I mean, it was enough to drag her based on her own words.
First of all, the Aryan Nation, the Nazis, and the KKK are not far-right organizations. Those are far-left organizations, and they always have been. The KKK was created and started by the Democrats in the United States to prevent blacks from being able to participate in the political arena, if you will. So I'm going to say they've never been associated with the right. They've always been associated with the left. Do I think that there are racists out there? I do, Winston. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but it doesn't exist, number one, on the right, and number two, it does not exist at the level that they want everybody to believe.
Hey, Nick Cannon, we found your notebook. Yeah, she got it. She got your notebook with all your talking points. There you go. I love that they just sat there and let her talk for that long and didn't ask her who they voted for. You know what I mean? We ain't got to go back to the 1800s. Who they voted for? It's nuts, the lengths that they will go to disavow. Oh, by the way, and feel free to disavow. That's another thing I didn't hear either. How about that? Well, you know, the Democrats, they came with the supremacist organizations, which was a solid contribution to the Republican base, if we're being honest. If we're being honest, you didn't need to have George Santos trending for that when you could have perfectly trended DEI. Because that's exactly what you should be hearing every time you listen to the daughter of a big-time Wyoming rep. That's right, the DEI, who loves to point it at brown people. Why don't I ever see her when I look up DEI? I look up DEI and I see Erika Kirk. Ain't no way.
The anti-DEI crowd just handed out the most DEI degree imaginable. Erika Kirk, yes, Charlie Kirk's widow, just accepted an honorary doctorate from Hillsdale College despite her late husband spending years attacking colleges, mocking degrees, and screaming about merit. Remember, this is the same movement that says earn it, no handouts, no special treatment. And now suddenly, you can skip the classes, skip the student debt, skip the exams, skip the thesis, skip literally everything. As long as your husband was famous enough on conservative Twitter. That's not merit. That's legacy admissions with a MAGA filter. Charlie Kirk literally wrote a book called The College Scam. Now his wife is walking around with a doctorate she didn't earn from the exact type of institution they spent years pretending to hate. You cannot script irony this perfectly. And the internet absolutely noticed. People online are calling it the most blatant example of DEI for me, not for thee, they've ever seen. Because apparently honorary degrees are woke garbage. Until conservatives get one. Then suddenly it's such an inspiring public servant. Right. Nothing says anti-elite populism quite like elite colleges handing out ceremonial titles to political celebrities.
I mean, we getting real liberal with the term elite, but I'll let that pass. Erika Kirk, why can't you just go sit down somewhere? Why can't you just go sit down somewhere? And you know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody, you ain't had no grandma to tell you just go sit down somewhere. Huh? She always, I mean, like Suge Knight said, all up in the video, dancing. You know what I mean? Like, come on. No, nowhere good. I mean, look, you could drag honorary degrees if you want, and I have. I think it's quite silly, to be perfectly honest. But an honorary degree for being the wife of somebody who you might have wanted to give an honorary degree is nasty work. That is, what about the kids? Why make them leave empty-handed? Y'all got any pets? Huh? I mean, why not your backup outfit can get an honorary degree? You know what I mean? Just because you just never know when you want to change clothes, make sure you got that honorary degree with you. You know what I mean? At all times. No, everybody saw it. Under Donald Trump's administration, diversity, equity, and inclusion, a framework designed to uplift groups traditionally discriminated against or underrepresented, has come under attack. Trump has famously signed executive orders that roll back these kinds of inclusion initiatives in federal government and education. So it was perhaps with some dismay that Erika Kirk received an honorary doctorate from the Christian Hillsdale College in Michigan for public service, given what her husband, Charlie Kirk, the right-wing activist who was killed in September of 2025, not only believed about DEI, but wrote about college. Oh yeah, it's not just the DEI part, it's the college part as well.
Can somebody explain to me why Erika Kirk, yes, this Erika Kirk, just received an honorary degree from Hillsdale College, which, look, I know, but still, an honorary degree for what exactly? For what? Because from what I can tell, the qualification was essentially being married to Charlie Kirk. And I guess they're saying it's for continuing his political brand after his death, whatever that may mean. Because the irony here is wild, considering Charlie Kirk spent years, pushing super traditional views about women's roles and criticizing modern feminism and promoting the idea that women should prioritize marriage and motherhood over higher education and careers. So now, suddenly, an honorary college degree is empowering and meaningful when it's being handed to that guy's wife. Be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real. Meanwhile, there are women out here who are actually doing research or teaching and surviving medical school and getting PhDs and publishing work, changing their communities, and they're drowning in student debt while politically connected, if you want to call them that. Those people are getting handed honorary degrees for vibes. And before somebody says it's just honorary, yes, I know honorary degrees are symbolic. That's the point, right? Colleges are supposed to use them to honor extraordinary contributions or accomplishments. But what exactly is the accomplishment here? Besides being attached to a conservative media empire that she's low-key destroying, which, don't get me wrong, hallelujah. Anyways, this all feels less like academic recognition and more like this ideological niche internet celebrity worship. It's weird. I think it's really weird. And honestly, I'm gonna need Erika Kirk to get remarried again so she can start standing in the background and being silent again. Like her and her husband preached for years. Yeah, girl, we don't wanna hear from you. Cut the cameras. Hey,
Hillsdale College, y'all gave Erika Kirk for service? For service? Were you giving Drewski one too? He did a bigger service, if we're being honest. Because that dragon is still ongoing.
They about to drag you. Hey, they about to drag you. Hey, in these comments. In these comments. Oh, yeah. They about to drag you. comments. In these comments.
Well, Erika Kirk, did you at least give them a good message? I'm just playing. I know you didn't. Erika Kirk urges graduates to marry young and have more children in commencement speech. After posting an emotional anniversary tribute to her late husband, she walked into a packed Michigan arena and delivered the kind of commencement speech that had an audience on his feet before she even finished processing her own grief. The Turning Point USA CEO, who took over after her husband was assassinated in September, spoke at the graduation about her husband's legacy and shared some of his personal thoughts on marriage, including have more kids than you can afford. I just want to encourage all of you, to the men who are called to provide, you are called to lead, to anchor your families in strength and consistency, she told the roughly 5,000 in attendance. To the women, you are called to nurture, to build, to shape lives with wisdom and endurance. These are not secondary callings. They're among the most significant ways a life can be rightly ordered.
Charlie would often encourage people, like Dr. Arnn said, to get married young, not rushed, but young. But I just want to encourage all of you, to the men, you are called to provide, you are called to lead, to anchor your families in strength and consistency. To the women, you are called to nurture, to build, to shape lives with wisdom and endurance.
According to TMZ, her speech earned a standing ovation from most of the people in attendance, while some protested outside the event with signs critical of her and Turning Point USA. So women are called to nurture, to build, and to shape lives with wisdom and endurance. Like CEO of TPUSA, you mean like that? That kind of nurturing? I don't know, because when I hear about when I hear from the Christian nationalists, a lot of that nurturing is happening inside the home. We don't never see you, and that's why I told you go sit down somewhere. That's exactly why I told you go sit down somewhere. That's exactly why. I will at least give you this: you are echoing Charlie's message about the whole nurturing part. Yes, you are echoing his message about that. Now, this whole thing about have more kids than you can afford. I guess that depends on what your finances look like, don't it? How much did Erika Kirk's net worth grow after inheriting Charlie Kirk's $100 million empire? While the death of her husband, Charlie, has left Erika Kirk emotionally vulnerable, not everything is as bad as it seems. Since the American right-wing political activist assassination, the 37-year-old's net worth has not settled on one number. Nobody knows her exact earnings, even though her businesses and achievements are public information. From $2 million to $20 million, Erika Kirk's financial details and information keep changing every other month. So how much exactly is Kirk worth? According to Grok, Kirk's net worth is estimated over $20 million in 2025, boosted by life insurance, donations, a home sale, book royalties, media income, and her TPUSA CEO salary. That's pretty good for the nurturing in the building. I mean, of course, and your husband dying, right? There's that part. But really, Erika, it's about your nurturing and your building. You know what I mean? It's about your empathy, how you got to that point. And you mentioned getting married and having kids young. How young is young? Like how many reality dating shows should you do before you like settle down and get married and whatnot? You know what I mean? I don't know. Some things I feel like, again, to my point about go sit down, some things I feel like you just don't try and advise people on. I don't know what makes you an expert on that. Is it the money? Cause that would be so MAGA.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke.
Who gonna tell us about motherhood next? Melania Trump? Ain't no way. Come on. She need to deal with her husband first. Did she see his Mother's Day post? Happy Mother's Day weekend to all, especially to the 115,000 Americans who found jobs in the month of April alone. As usual, over 90% of Bloomberg economists, nearly all of whom have a terminal case of Trump derangement syndrome, underestimated the strength of the Trump economy. Despite the best efforts of Jerome Too Late and Won't Leave Powell and the America-hating Democrat Party, more Americans are working today than ever before. Happy Mother's Day, and know that we are making America wealthy and safe again. President Donald J. Trump. That was his Mother's Day post. That's who you chose. That's who you chose. You want to write us a whole op-ed about Mother's Day when that's who you chose? What we doing? Huh? What we doing here? And by the way, that whole part about making America wealthy again, I guess that was only for the one day that he cared about that.
When you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that motivates.
Now, wait a minute, Trump. Wait a minute, Trump. That's not true. That's not true. You say you don't think about America's finances. You do. When you're trying to figure out how much money there is left to grift. Huh? Give yourself some credit. President Trump honors America's moms with new support for families. Oh, look at this. New support for families from Trump. Hey, MAGA, we got something for you.
Labor is issuing a new rule to formally create a fertility benefit option for employers that can be offered to all employees outside of their normal health insurance plans. It's a big deal.
And that's not all. Look at this, Moms.gov. This is actually a bigger deal than people realize. The White House just launched this. Basically a one-stop hub for mothers and expecting families. And honestly, this tells you a lot about the direction they want the country moving. From what's being shown so far, the website is designed to connect expecting and new mothers with resources all in one place. Things like nutrition help, pregnancy support, maternal health information, early childhood programs, and guidance for families trying to prepare for having kids. When was the last time you saw the federal government heavily promoting motherhood, healthy families, and support for parents this directly? That's why I think this matters more than people realize, because this isn't just some random website launch. It feels like part of a much bigger cultural shift toward rebuilding the family unit, encouraging healthier lifestyles, and putting more focus back into children and parents again. I do believe this is a good sign that we're headed in the right direction. Have a great day, Patriots.
And you wonder why it was almost 600,000 people paid for the Trump phone.
Where the f*** is my phones?
You wonder, they ain't learned. They ain't learned yet. You know how you can support American families? Not calling affordability a hoax. How about that? No, we gonna do a program. Yeah, we gonna do a program for mothers. They ain't learned. They ain't learned. I would be shocked if he even stayed awake when they announced this program. Well, that is really out of character because he's normally so respectful of women.
Supporting the journey of American moms at every stage is so important to the success of our nation. I'd now like to ask Senator Katie Britt. She's the one that got me into this, I have to tell you. I hope she always remains loyal to me so I can continue to support her.
You got it.
I would hate to go against her. That will never happen, Katie, right?
That's right, sir.
But to say just a few words, she's really a fantastic woman. She's a great senator. And I got lucky. I was supporting somebody else, and then I realized that somebody else wasn't very good. And I said, who's that young woman I met that was so impressive. They say her name is Katie Britt. I said, let me talk to her. I talked to her. I endorsed her. She won a landslide. And you've been winning in landslides ever since. So you've been doing a great job, Katie. Thank you very much. I thought I should explain it.
Thank you.
Wow. That man just said that will never happen, Katie. He just threatened you. He just openly threatening you in the Oval. I can't imagine anything more embarrassing. But I'm sure you found it.
And you'll speak not too long because I am being waited on by a large group of generals. And that's also important, you know, having to do with the absolutely lovely country of Iran. That's the way they pronounce it.
Well, we will get started then.
Okay.
Mr. President, thank you for your work. We are here, guys. This is another example of promises made, promises kept. I mean, we look at what President Trump did when we dealt with this issue in Alabama. He stepped up to the plate immediately to make sure that we had nationwide access to IVF, to making sure that we had comprehensive fertility treatment, so that men and women, couples who were longing for their child, could continue to have that hope and also have that reality. Today doubles down on that yet again. I mean, we see the savings that have happened across the country, and I've had more and more people come up to me and tell me a story about what it has saved them. But we also know that there was opportunity for continued growth. President Trump saw that and he acted on it. So now more people are going to have access through their employer, just like they would dental or vision insurance. And there are people right now who this is out of reach because of affordability, and President Trump is bringing that back in. When you look at...
There it is. There it is. I found something more embarrassing. I actually found something more embarrassing. And Katie Britt, what was he doing while you were glazing him?
In a perinatal proven collaborative, hospitals, we have reduced maternal mortality by 41.5%, which is truly incredible. And this is compared with a 5.9% decline.
Well, Katie Britt, this is really like a win-win for you, because this is something viral that can knock down all those clips of you robotic in your kitchen. So this is good. And you wasn't even disrespected as bad as the other women that were there.
Underbabied. You heard that right. That's what he said. And that isn't even the most bizarre part of this press conference. Like, check this out.
I'd like to ask Olivia Walton, who's here with her very handsome husband, Tom. Thank you, Tom, for being here. Thank you very much.
That's weird, right? That he thanks Tom, the husband, for being handsome and being there, but doesn't even acknowledge or look back at Olivia Walton.
And you're going to speak about maternal health care.
So Dr. Oz makes a point to interrupt her before she can even start talking.
Mr. President, I'm going to introduce Olivia, if you don't mind.
Okay, so he just wants to introduce her, right?
Before we leave the last topic.
Yes, Dr. Oz has a quick point he wants to make before he actually introduces Olivia Walton.
It's the leader of EMD Toronto, which makes one of the most important fertility drugs is here. Just to remind you, because you've been giving different percentages.
I'm glad Dr. Oz is here to talk about the percentages, because this administration struggles with the percentages.
The Monique's price of getting a product is 1/10 of what it used to be. So 1/10. Forget about the percentages.
Actually, forget about the percentages. We don't do percentages. It's a good call, Ozzy.
It's an easy number to remember.
Just a reminder, he's there to introduce Olivia Walton.
And the fact that we were paying 10 times more for that same drug in America is embarrassing. It's changed under the president. And the president's had one for a long time, but he's got to take on for a long time. So why didn't they do it? Well, the main reason they're scared. Or confident. But I have plenty of conversations with the president when he says he doesn't care and wants to do the right thing. It's a good example.
Excuse me, Katie Britt's husband's here. I just spotted this very large, handsome guy.
Got to make sure we introduce all the handsome husbands. By the way, we still have not introduced Olivia Walton.
Oh, there we go. That's a great guy. Okay, go ahead.
So let me speak a little bit about the reality that 1 in 3 Americans are underbabied.
Has not introduced Olivia Walton, but did invent a new term called underbabied.
What does underbabied mean? That means that you either don't have any children or you have less children than you would normally want to have. And to Katie's point, we have a crisis that's causing our fertility rate to drop below 1.5. Replacement rate is 2.1. So we're way below what we need just to replace the people that we have in America. And one of the challenges is that rural America, where there's 60 million people, have a mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, when they have babies, is 40% higher than urban America. One of the presidents brings on the working tax legislation, which I think is ambitious. The tax program, the health system, the president and working tax legislation. He also has a good conference on Senator Katie Britt.
Okay, he's now finally going to introduce Olivia Walton.
Olivia, maybe you can take the message around the private sector involvement and how you and your family have gotten involved in this and led the way, and maybe we can talk about Maha afterwards.
So instead of introducing this dynamic and successful woman, He treats her like a child and tells her what she's going to say.
Sure, I would love to.
Now, I don't know a lot about Olivia Walton, but at face value, it seems like she's doing a lot of good, and impressively doing a lot of good with this administration. When Olivia started talking, she is eloquent and she is knowledgeable and she is certainly the expert in the room. And one thing that's clear to me watching this interview, these men do not respect women and they don't give a damn about mothers unless it makes them look good.
Hey, what do you mean they don't give a damn about mothers? Didn't you see Trump's Mother's Day post? He did a whole Mother's Day post without mentioning his wife or his mother. But hey, Erika Kirk was talking about nurturing and building. So they do care about mothers. They want the women to all be mothers, and they care about it from that perspective. So they don't have no competition because it would be DEI. So they care about mothers as long as they're not underbabied. Then they care. They want them under babies. They want them under babies, not underbabied. That's when they. Nah, I can't spend that one. Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it at all. You know, it makes about as much sense as having this whole working families for mothers presentation without Melania present. Where was she at? Mother's Day message from the Trump administration. Oh, she's not in this video at all. Oh, you got to scroll down. First Lady Melania Trump, Mother's Day. Why y'all hiding the Melania Trump? Why y'all hiding the Melania Trump? Did she mention Epstein or something?
Motherhood. The life-changing event that makes women invincible and exposed at the same time. Military mothers in America have developed an extraordinary parallel journey. They are filled with stories.
Y'all got subtitles? Do the subtitles. Y'all saw the kids crying at Christmas.
Of personal sacrifice, determination, loss, and healing. Certainly, only military mothers have experienced this level of grace and resilience of American life.
I think the military mothers want to know if their kids getting fed. Can we get an answer on that? And how long they're gonna be gone? Can we get an answer on that? No, just a message.
The sacred strength of women is a profound force. With unwavering love and nurturing wisdom, we have the ability to inspire, uplift, and shape the future hearts of our children. Let us unite to honor the beauty of motherhood, champion the grace of our journey.
Wait a minute. Was that Joni Ernst? We're all gonna die? Joni Ernst? That was perfect. This picture perfect. You got Melania out here narrating the video, which is a choice. And we're all gonna die, Joni Ernst. That is, now I get why it was hidden. Now I totally get why it was hidden.
A mother is awestruck when she welcomes her child into the world. After 9 months, the miracle of life creates a fascinating bond between mother and child. With each breath, day by day, this bond deepens, bringing forth emotions never felt before. Quite frankly, these are emotions understood only by women. Only a mother can carry this type of powerful connection with her child, which is also too profound for words.
You know, a mother can only hope that one day her child will be able to achieve something like you, Melania, and get an Einstein visa and fall in with a crew of models and handlers where you're able to meet a husband and be his third wife. You know, It's a beautiful story. It really is. You should have told that one in your op-ed. Melania Trump's Mother's Day op-ed for the Washington Post gets a brutal reality check. The First Lady wrote a piece that published Friday in the Washington Post, whose owner, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, has been accused of cozying up to the Trump administration on multiple fronts about motherhood and her role in the White House. Accused? What you mean accused? That's like saying the Melania movie is accused of being bad. We see it. Trump called on Americans to restore the honor of motherhood after years in which feminism often placed career above family, with consequences to our nation, to carve out time for themselves and champion a new American model that restores the honor of motherhood by encouraging all women to lead boldly at work while also making family the cornerstone of our national future. Melania. Did you really say lead boldly at work? What work? What work? Come on. You gonna have to get on that Erika Kirk, go sit down. A vast majority of the top-ranked comments on the article ripped into the piece as out of touch and condescending, especially given the economic struggles faced by many in America during her husband's presidency. Is this a joke? Asked one commenter. Added another, is this for real? Seems satirical to me. Maybe I opened the link to The Onion by mistake. You've got to be kidding, said another, adding, what's next? An opinion piece on the contributions of immigrants to American society by Stephen Miller? I would love to read that piece. I honestly would love to read that. I would love to know the mental gymnastics that he has to go through to deny that. Melania, did you write this? Huh? We told you look at Michelle Obama's paper. Why you ain't look at Michelle's paper? A mother's devotion to her child is unmatched. This love takes many forms: strength, compassion, wisdom, grace, joy, labor, humor, and even grief, to name a few. The love between mother and child has helped shape America's identity since the nation's founding 250 years ago. It's time to revisit the enduring American family traditions that have supported generations, while also recognizing the challenges for mothers of building both a career and a home. This balancing act reflects the realities women face today. Yeah, that's what I saw during the movie, during the Melania movie. That's what I saw was challenges at work and balancing home. It was a lot of that. If by working home you mean dresses and furs, I could see the realities that women are facing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The household is the nation's smallest institution, yet it's the foundation of all others, including democracy itself. Does that mean y'all destroying it? Is that since we tearing up democracy, we tearing up the family home too? The values cultivated in homes often shape the moral voice of the next generation. Looking ahead, we must consider how to strengthen this vital role. Did you say moral voice? Have you been on True Social today? You haven't? Should get that app while you talk about the moral voice. Yes, women can thrive in both motherhood and business, but let's be honest, extended families and strong support systems are often essential to providing a solid base for success. That's why I admire the strength and dedication of single mothers in America who often handle these responsibilities alone. You sure? Huh? You sure? I don't think your party echoes that sentiment. I don't think that's That's not what we were hearing during the SNAP debates. That's definitely, no, it was none of that. Well, you might want to tell them about it. I constantly challenge myself as First Lady to think beyond the traditional responsibilities of the East Wing. What wing now? What wing now? Huh? What's the responsibilities of the East Wing? Are we digging or exactly where we at with that? Together, let's champion a new American model that restores the honor of motherhood by encouraging all women to lead boldly at work while also making family the cornerstone of our national future. I invite you to join me in prioritizing family as we shape a stronger America for the generations to come. That's interesting. Family. You know, like family. You know, how did your family behave on Mother's Day? You mean like a strong family unit like that? You don't even be trying to hold that man's hand. I seen what it looked like, but I didn't choose him. I didn't choose him. Okay. Huh? I see what it looked like. Well, put a glove on or something. You talking about strengthening families? That's what you got out here sounding like Erika Kirk. Melania, we don't want that for you. Don't wait till the Legos get involved.